Alright, we're going to wrap up our unit on Rome today, talking about the fall of Rome. Remember, Rome gets super, super huge, and eventually it's going to be ripe for invaders and will no longer be an empire. Okay, first thing we got to go over is that we have to remember this is a very long and slow decline. It's not like they just blow up a building and it's over. Right? It takes hundreds of years, 300 years as a matter of fact. And we have to think about how big Rome is. Alright, so there's both internal and external problems, right? And that's going to spell doom. For one, the size is way too big. Alright, remember, what do you need in order to kind of control an empire or to defend an empire? You need a military, you need an army, and that's going to cost money. Right? So without an army, without money, you can't have a strong army, which means you cannot stop civil wars. So there's going to be a lot of fighting inside Rome, and that's going to affect the economy because we have such high military costs and inflation. Okay, things cost so much that the Roman dollar or Roman coins don't even really mean much anymore. A lot of social issues, moral decay, and no faith in Rome. Remember, during the Pax Romana, the emperors were very much like, well, look at how great we're doing. Everything's so peaceful. Everything's so wonderful. Let's make sure we have a lot of parties, have a lot of gladiator games. That's going to keep the people happy and complacent. But instead, they just kind of party too much. The family unit is not very strong anymore. There's a lot of theft because people don't have any money. So it just kind of starts to be not a good scene in Rome. Political unrest, right? All of this is causing civil wars. The governments are very weak. People don't have faith in their emperor anymore, don't have faith in the empire, and so people are just not really loyal to Rome anymore. Also, military weakness, all right? The military gets so weak that Rome starts to allow both foreigners and mercenaries into the military. Do you remember what this mercenary means? This word mercenary means right here? Oops, sorry. Right, remember, mercenaries are people who are going to fight for money. Alright, so they may not have been born in Rome because that was previously what you needed to do. You needed to be able to be a citizen because you were born in Rome in order to serve in the military. But now because Rome needs military so much and they can't really afford it, they're going to allow foreigners and mercenaries to kind of help out. And we just talked about Christianity. Christianity has spread now. Alright, so no longer are the people of Rome interested in following their emperor. Now they're much more interested in following the teachings of Jesus Christ and the teaching of Christianity. So with all this unrest and all this not so good stuff happening in Rome, Rome's going to be very susceptible to invasions, and its borders are starting to collapse. Alright, but so we have this guy, Diocletian. He is an emperor in 284 Common Era, and he decides to split the emperor. Alright, so if you notice before, oops, keep on doing this. No. Alright, let me get my pointer going. Before, right, the capital of the empire was here at Rome. Okay, but what he does is he switches the capital to here at Constantinople. I'm sorry, not him, the next emperor. So the Diocletian has the capital here at Rome, and he wants to split the empire into two, the west and the east. But then we have Constantine, and he moves the empire here to Constantinople, right? And hoping that that's going to make the empire stronger. So he is the first Christian emperor. Remember, the story goes that he was in battle and he was inspired to convert to Christianity. So because he converted to Christianity, he makes Christianity the official religion in the empire shortly after him. So Emperor Theodosius, in 380 CE, he makes Christianity the official religion. And the reforms do not work in the West. All right, Constantinople was perfect for trade. It's right here in the middle. It's going to be right along trade routes. Okay, so the West does okay. I'm sorry, the East does okay. All right, but the West is starting to collapse. Look how far away parts of the empire are going to be. All right, so reforms don't work in the West. Constantinople becomes a more vibrant city on the trade route. And Constantinople is going to take all the money, right? So the West is just going to start struggling even more. And now, with the East and the West not really being strong, the borders are starting to collapse. There's a weak military. People don't have any faith in their emperors. Now they're going to be susceptible to invasions. All right, so we get this word barbarian. All right, the Romans referred to anybody who was not of Roman descent or not in the Roman Empire as a barbarian. All right, so we have these barbarian invasions. And this is the final straw. This is what's going to make the Roman Empire finally fall. All right, so we have Attila the Hun. Right, he is pushing north he's coming from the north, pushing into the Roman Empire, and he pushes out the Germanic tribes that were to the north of the Roman Empire. On the west side, they are too weak to resist. Right, so Hun is able to move into the Western Empire and conquer the Western Empire. However, in Constantinople and the East, they survive. Remember, they had a lot more money, so they were able to make fortifications, which are like walls to keep invaders out. They are much more wealthier and kind of more together on the east side, with the capital being at Constantinople. All right, so Rome is sacked in 410 CE. We have Alaric, or Visigoth. All right, these are the Gothic tribes who are going to be able to come in. And Rome finally falls totally in 476 CE with Odovaker. Spelled kind of weird, see? This is just like the German spelling. You spell it Odovaker, even though it looks like Odoacer. Alright, he's going to be the first barbarian emperor of Rome. So now this is the first time that there is a non-Roman emperor of Rome. Alright, here you can see all the different tribes coming in. Attila is going to push kind of around in, alright, these different Germanic tribes. Notice they stay clear of Constantinople. All right, Constantinople is not going to be able to be conquered by these outside Germanic tribes. So they kind of stay to the west of Constantinople. Constantinople is very strong, has lots of fortifications, the military is strong there, so invasions are not going to happen. All right, here's more invasions. Again, Constantinople, pretty much avoided. Okay? But we have the Goths, the Visigoths, the Huns, the Vandals, all these different tribes are able to quickly move in and conquer parts of the Roman Empire. Alright, these are the two main barbarian leaders. We have Alaric here on the left, and we have Odoacer here on the right. Now, here is the bonus scholar question of the day. Do you notice what's on Alaric's head right here? It's an animal. Right? Looks like a lion, maybe. Now, why would he want to have like a lion's head on his head? Right? Why would he want to wear an animal skin? Right? That's going to show his ferocity. Right? It's going to show that he's very powerful. He's very strong. That's probably a lion that he killed in a hunt. Right, so he's showing how strong and powerful he is, which is going to be intimidating to the Romans and to get people to follow him after he's conquered parts of Rome. All right, so we have 1,000 years of the Roman Empire. And after 1,000 years, we have the Western Roman Empire falls to barbarian tribes in 476. The city of Rome will eventually return to greatness as the religious and political capital of what will become Europe. That's still going to be for years and years to come. The Eastern Empire survives all invasions and becomes the Byzantine Empire with its capital at Constantinople. So, can you take a wild guess what our next unit will be? Our next unit will be about the Byzantine Empire. All right, and they will have their capital at Constantinople. So, and it will prosper for another 1,000 years before falling in 1453. And that's when we'll kind of start to see the Ottomans come in and more of Europe starting to develop into more what it looks like in modern day. All right, we have learned all about Rome, and we keep on seeing these patterns repeating. An empire gets really big, then it gets too big, then it becomes too much, then it falls, it's invaded and conquered. Kind of just like the story of history being retold and retold and retold. That's it for Rome. What you can do now is work on your study guide, and we will come together to play some review games and make sure that we are tying up loose ends to make sure we completely understand the history of Rome, and will be good for the test and fantastic for the SOL.